We are back and black in the building. What is going on? Shout out to everybody out there, man. Shout out to James Youngblood, my brother David from No Compromise. Shout out to everybody out there, Tasha, Shawnee, Erica. You already know what it is. You already know what the fuck is going on, man. We got a great topic and subject today. We're going to talk about our good, what is it, the 45th president, number 9 in numerology, Donald Trump. We got a great conversation to talk about today. Shout out to everybody at the Court Plantation, man, doing what they need to do to survive. Man, this is going to be a real quick one, but we going to get it out there, man. Let's get it. Man. Let me tell y'all something, man. I'm very interested to hear what our brother David from No Compromise and our brother James Youngblood, Tasha, I'm interested to hear what everybody has to say. Man, first of all, I don't believe that Donald Trump is going anywhere. I believe the fear of the past. I believe they know he has a good chance of winning again because nobody is fucking with Joe 94 crime bill Biden. So now, since nobody is fucking with him, now what is going on now is, oh, well, we got to throw him in jail. Well, we got to do this. When have y'all ever known for them to arrest a president? Stop. Stop it with the bullshit. Let me tell y'all something. Just listen to what Donald Trump has said in the past. I listened to some of the things he said. I'm not a Donald Trump fan by any means. What I have understood and watched and observed about Donald Trump is he says a lot about what's on his mind. I think he's an equal opportunity racist. I don't think he's just racist and white supremacy just for black folk. No, I think he's racist and white supremacy for everyone. Meaning he's going to use his authority against any motherfucker that's in his way. He's not just strategically gonna go after black folk. He's gonna go after whoever the fuck is in his way. That's just my perception of who he is. And I believe that a lot of dominant society people don't like that because they like to keep the hammer on one specific group at a time, which just happens to be black folk, foundational black Americans. I don't expect anybody to believe in what I'm saying. Do the research for yourself. But I want anybody to find me any president that has said that black folk have built this country. Right? And I want anybody to find me a president who has said what Donald Trump has said as far as when he was like, you know, this gender role and gender and all this bullshit that the left done made up, which whoever made it up, I think this is a bunch of bullshit. And I feel like you are trying to effeminize black men to make them more palatable to everybody else. So we can make you feel uncomfortable. We can make you feel comfortable, right? While you make us feel uncomfortable. That's what I believe. That's what I'm standing on. And I'm not saying that Donald Trump is this great person because he's a part of the racism, white supremacy too. And he's not trying to establish a system of justice. But that's not what my issue is. My issue here is you know something is wrong when the dominant society don't fuck with them. And the dominant society is not going to fuck with Donald Trump on a lot of his belief systems because it calls out a lot of the other bullshit that's going on. A lot of other racial groups don't like Donald Trump because he gonna call you out too. He gonna talk shit about Mexicans. He gonna talk shit about black folk. He gonna talk shit about Asians. He gonna talk shit about every single racial group that probably comes across his table. And the dominant society and Tethers and Coons, they do not like this because it's going to put them on blast as well as put black folk on blast. Matter of fact, gonna put them on blast more than put us on blast. Because if you think about Donald Trump's policies, did they really hurt black folk? Or was it something else going on? Here, I'm going to play something and let's see what they talking about as far as Donald Trump here, about his arrest.
So we've heard from, at least the reporting is that Stormy Daniels, right, has appeared before the grand jury, at least by Zoom. Not sure if there's testimony, but saying that she would be available, she and her attorneys, that she would be available. We've heard from Michael Cohen. We've heard from Robert Costello and others. This appears to be wrapping up. Everyone wants to know when it's going to happen. What is the timeline? Is it going to be today? Is it tomorrow? Is it next week? Having worked in the DA's office, is it possible to put a date or a time on that?
Within reason, there is. This is an ongoing investigation. It's not a reactive investigation. It's proactive. So the DA's office should really know at this point.
What does Stormy Daniels... See, this would be laughing. That's why I know it's all theater. David, it's all theater. You did say white folk love theater too. Let me tell you why. Bill Clinton was in a picture with an underage girl at Epstein's house. They never prosecuted him. They never brung shit up. Nobody ever said anything about that. But they talk about a grown woman. Man, get the fuck out of here. And not that I'm defending Donald Trump, but man, this shit is just, this is a billionaire that we talking about. Remember what happened to Robert Kraft when he was in that massage parlor and he was basically trying to get some pussy, and then all of a sudden they tried to put him on blast. I bet you he thought, man, I'm a billionaire. I don't give a fuck about this shit. This shit will go away tomorrow.
In fact, well before, who is going to testify and what, if anything, is going to happen to throw that off course. So I'd expect that they should be summing up or wrapping up soon. And then once that happens, it becomes a procedural issue. The indictment is filed, and ultimately they reach out to the team for Trump to take those next steps.
You say wrapping up soon. So what are the considerations now? If you're looking at someone who has insider knowledge, if you're looking at what is playing out, seeing Costello and Cohen, et cetera, go in, what is happening inside of the office right now?
I expect that all the evidence that they've wanted to present, they meaning the district attorney's office, has been presented. And if anything, for lack of a term, rebuttal or to clarify or to bolster, if that's the right term we want to use here, the credibility or what may have happened.
This is all legal jargon. This is a billionaire. How many billionaires have y'all seen, white billionaires, have y'all seen go to prison over some bullshit? They would have been to, this is all this is a smear campaign, because they know motherfuckers gonna vote for Donald Trump. They know a lot of other racial groups are gonna vote for Donald Trump, because they know a lot of other racial groups have principles and beliefs and moral compasses that are in alignment with with the way that he's trying to shift the paradigm of what he said. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to do it, but when he did that speech and he was just like, we're not going to be allowing kids to pick their gender because all of a sudden, oh, God wanted me to be a man, so now I'm going to go get a sex change and all this other stuff. There's a lot of racial groups that are not in alignment with that belief system. So since they're not in alignment with it, they're going to vote for a motherfucker that is anti that belief system. Oh, you're going to see a lot of people out voting because they going to get Joe Biden's punk ass the fuck up out of there. That's a fact.
That's going to come out now. But again, it's the grand jury's determination to decide what witnesses, if anything, they want to hear. But once that's wrapped up, the DA's office is ready to take those next steps.
Jeremy, is it the grand jury's determination? Because the grand jury vote to indict Donald Trump and then Alvin Bragg say, even with that, I'm not going to do it?
Once a grand jury indicts, or what's we call a true bill, they have to take that next step. Ultimately, the DA's office can decide what they want to do going forward, but once there's an indictment, it has to proceed.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This investigation has been called a zombie case. Everyone thought that after Cy Vance, that nothing was going to happen, nothing would happen for so long under the current DA, Alvin Bragg, nothing happened. So what happened? How is this resuscitated or resurrected?
Well, the argument from the DA's office is that it wasn't resuscitated. It's been going on all.
This is what y'all need to know. Whoever the DA, whoever it is linking back to the Democratic Party. That's all this is. This is a push from y'all good Democratic Party because they want to do a smear campaign, because they don't want him in the paint, because they know motherfuckers is going to vote for Donald Trump because he's just going to say what's on his fucking mind. But what they don't understand is anybody can be Joe Biden at this time. Joe Biden don't even know he probably don't even know who he is right now. And he probably don't know where he is, who he is. First of all, your son is a dope fiend. Smoking crack in the strip club, calling motherfuckers niggas and shit, and we supposed to overlook that shit as you put people in prison for mandatory minimums about drugs, and then you ask the House Speaker on the floor if you can get more time so you can talk shit about black folk and how they're thugs and all this other shit. Man, fuck Joe Biden, man, when it comes to this shit. We have to wake up and understand what's going on. Just because a motherfucker Democrat don't mean that they're not for the system of racism, white supremacy. That it doesn't mean that they want to establish a system of justice. See, people be like, oh, they're a Democrat, I'm a Democrat. Everybody, once upon a time, I thought that as well. Oh, yeah, they're a Democrat, they cool. Then you start listening to them talk, you start listening to them like, oh, well, that doesn't mean that they're not a part of the system of racism, white supremacy. That just means that they're a Democrat. Motherfuckers act like motherfuckers think when you talk about a Republican, that they're racist, and when you talk about a Democrat, oh, they're not racist, they're progressive. No, man, both parties are a part of the system of racism and white supremacy, and both parties are not trying to establish a system of justice. How many times do we need to go over this?
long. It's an ongoing investigation. These things don't happen overnight. It takes time to develop. There's those who will argue that there was political pressure with the Pomerantz book and what's happening sort of socially.
What did I tell you about political pressure? I already know what's going on. This is all political ties, man. This is all a smear campaign. I'm not telling people to go out and vote for Donald Trump, but what I'm telling people is be mindful of who you are voting for. Go back and look at the history. As Donald Trump said, and I quote, Joe Biden's been a career politician for 40 years and has done nothing for black people. I'll say it one more time. Joe Biden has been a career politician and has done nothing for black people. He's done more harm than good. That's not true, Warren. What did he do? The 94 crime bill is enough for me. I don't need to hear anything else. I'll repeat it one more time. The 94 crime bill. Go look up the crime bill and look at how many black people suffered from Mr. Joe Biden's 94 crime bill and mandatory minimums over marijuana, which is now legal in the majority of the states in the United States of America.
But the DA's office will take the position that we've always been doing our due diligence. This is about justice. This isn't about politics. And now we're at the point where you have to move it forward.
Yeah, if you're looking at this, people are expecting, will Donald Trump be handcuffed? Are we going to see him in a jumpsuit and what have you? It doesn't really work that way, especially when you have a high-profile defendant. Unless he wants to be paraded in front of cameras, there are means and efforts to sort of mitigate that, possibly going in, probably through an underground entrance and having this sort of expedited about him. My reporting is seeing a judge and doing it quickly, having the process play out quickly so that he doesn't have to be photographed or seen doing any of these things.
Well, he shouldn't be photographed once he's inside the building, but he'll be taken in like
except for a mugshot.
Well, that absolutely. He'll be taken in. There will be a mugshot. There'll be a fingerprint. And then they're going to expedite him and walk him to the courtroom. He'll have to walk down the hallway unless for some reason they decide to bring him up through the judicial areas. So there's a separate set of elevators he can come up through. But otherwise, he's going to be brought in like anybody else. And to your point, he may very well want to be seen. He very well want to make this an issue that there can be a public showing or display where he can make sort of a statement.
And that's all we need to discuss on that. You know what's so funny? Look, David, James Youngblood, Tasha, Shawnee, all y'all. I'm about to say it right now. I believe that Donald Trump is going to put this on display. He's going to beat this case, and then he's going to become the next president of the United States of America again. I believe this is all a storyline. If not, maybe I'm wrong. But it may very well be a storyline just to keep people entertained. Because we know, if y'all don't know by now that politics is a bunch of bullshit, then y'all should wake up. These politicians are not sending their kids to no war, they're sending their kids to die. They ain't sending their kids to be in Iraq so they can live around burn pits so they can get all kinds of stomach issues and cancers and all that. They're not sending their kids to do that. They're sending our kids to do that. They're sending us to do that. That's how you know politicians ain't shit and they don't give a fuck about you. My thing is they're trying to make us feel like Donald Trump is somehow different from the average politician. Like he's so evil compared to Joe Biden. Man, stop. Joe Biden and Donald Trump are the same. They are one and the same. They're one and the same. It's just Donald Trump's policies kind of directly didn't affect black folk as much as Joe Biden's policies did from the 94 crime bill. People are still just getting out of prison from that bullshit. We got to wake up, man. I was looking at this article, this professor, he trying to sue the university because he compared Asians to blacks. See, that's why you don't need to team up with other racial groups as far as defending your birthright to get reparations and to be classified as a foundational black American or a native black, as Dr. Claude Anderson talks about. You don't need to be teaming up with nobody because ain't nobody gonna team up with you. They're just gonna label you with everybody else. Don't label me and liken my situation to Asians, to the dominant Jewish community. Our situation is very different. I feel bad for the dominant white Jewish community and what happened with the Holocaust. That was terrible what happened to that racial group of people. Hitler was wrong for that. Now, I'm not going to say no bullshit. That was some bullshit what Hitler did. But I'm going to say this. Hitler practiced on black folk before he went on to do that to the white dominant society Jewish community. So, and he was still wrong. And that suffrage that they went through was wrong. But black folk not only went through a suffering period, we were made to build this country for free without repayment. So don't liken our situation to the LGBTQ situation, to Asians, to white folk, to the Latino community. We, as Dr. Claude Anderson teaches, we are a special people. And if you don't understand that by now, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. That means you're not reading, you're not researching, and you're not paying attention. Hey, man, this is my time. I got nothing but love for y'all. Y'all know what it is. Go check out the situation with Donald Trump for yourself. I believe that he's going to parade this shit and make it bigger than what it is. It's going to backfire on the Democratic Party, and then he's going to go on the campaign and become the next president of the United States of America Incorporated. And if y'all don't believe me, that's fine. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is what it looks like to me. Your job is to make sure that you are maintaining your lane, your focus, and trying to establish a system of justice within your circle of people, and don't have people around you that are not moving forward, progressively moving forward. Motherfuckers is laterally moving, get the fuck away from them, because these people are not your friends. Hey, man, y'all know what it is, y'all know what it ain't. In the great words of Slavery by Another Name, guilty nigga, I'm out. Peace.